Okay. So a sum of money deposited at compound interest amounts to rupees 20.165 in 2 years and to 26,114.26 in 4 years. Okay, so this is not 20.125, this is 20,165. Okay, so it's 20,165, and in 2 years that amount is gonna become 20,165, and in 4 years it is gonna become 26,114.26. So we have to find the sum and the rate of interest. So this is another variety of problem which you can expect. So let's read the question again. A sum of money deposited at compound interest, which means principal is not given to us. Okay, we have to find out the principal. So what is given to us? That principal will become the amount. In 2 years it is gonna become 20,165. In 4 years it is gonna become 26,114.26. Okay, and they have also not given the rate of interest. So using these two amounts here, we are supposed to calculate the principal as well as the rate of interest. And understand, this is a compound interest problem which clearly mentions it. So did you all understand the question? Now moving on to the solution part, all this is given to us. Okay, now let us start with the solution. Firstly, we will find the difference between these two amount. Okay, so amount in 4 years was how much? 26,114.26, and amount in 2 years is rupees 20,165. Now subtract these two and find the difference. The difference is going to be 5,949.26. We are just finding the difference between the two amounts that is given to us. Okay, so this 5,949.26 is the difference. Okay, now what can we conclude by this differences? This amount is the difference in the compound interest for 2 years. Okay, now if X amount is deposited for 2 years, you will be getting 20,165. Okay, and if you continue to deposit for another 2 years, that is 2 plus 2, totally 4 years you are keeping the money, where you will get 26,114.26. Fine. So this 5,949 is the compound interest for this 2 years. This 2 years is from second year to fourth year. We have the difference, right? From second year to fourth year, we have a difference. So that from second year to fourth year, the interest is 5,949. Did you all understand until here? Any doubts? Good. Now let's write what is that difference. So rupees 5,949.26 is the difference. The difference is compound interest for 2 years on rupees 20,165. So on 20,165, if they calculate compound interest, they will be getting 26,114. Okay. So here we are taking, so in the brackets, you can just write fourth year minus second year. If you're getting confused, just write down this one. Okay. Now, since we know the interest between the fourth year and the second year, now let us use this. Now, what we are doing, we are taking that second year amount, that is 20,165. This we are taking it as principal, and with interest, what will be the amount for 4 years? We do not know what is the principal for 0 year. Okay, we don't know. But we know the value at the end of second year. We were getting 20,165 with interest. This is principal plus interest. And we also know at the end of fourth year, we will be getting 2614.26. This is also principal plus interest. Okay. So before finding this out, we will be using the difference of the amount here. This difference will give us the interest for 2 years. How 2 years? From second year to fourth year is 2 years. Right? So using this interest, okay, we will be calculating the rate of interest. Using this interest, we will be calculating the rate of interest, and later we can calculate the principal. Are you all able to understand the logic? How are we trying to do it? Yes? Good. If you understand the question, if you understand what we are trying to do, then it is easy for you to solve the problem. So we will be using the amount formula. Amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power T. Now using this formula, here we will be taking P as, we'll write that down here. P is 20,165. A is 26,114.26. R we don't know. T will be 2 years. Now, did you understand? This is the basic amount. Okay. And this is the amount after 2 years. From second year to fourth year, we have 2 years. So we are going to use this data and find for second to fourth year first, and then we will come back to year 0 and then find the principal. Now let us apply all this into the formula. So amount is 2614.26 is equal to 20,165 into 1 plus R, we don't know, R by 100 to the power 2. Now start solving this. So 26,114.26 divided by 20,165 is equal to 1 plus R by 100 to the power 2. Now here you will be getting 1.295 is equal to 1 plus R by 100 to the power 2. Now in the next step, I'm going to take that square to the other side. So it will become square root of 1.295 is equal to 1 plus R by 100. So square root of 1.295, we will be getting 1.138 is equal to 1 plus R by 100. So 1.138 minus 1 is equal to R by 100. 0.138 is equal to R by 100. So 0.138 into 100. So R is equal to 13.8%. Correct, Spurti. R is equal to 13.8%. So by using the 2 years data, by using the interest that we got from that, now we have calculated the percentage. Now let us use this percentage and calculate the principal. Okay, so what we did is so say suppose 1 2, we need to have 0. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Now first we have found out using the data here 2165 26114. Using the 2 years data, we have found out R to be 13.8. Okay, now in the second step, we will use the data between these 2 years. That is, here you have 20,165 and we know the percentage. We know the number of years, that is 2 years. So using all this data, we will find out principal. Okay. First we used this data. Now we are using these two data. So let us solve for the first 2 years now and find the principal. Applying R is equal to 13.8% for amount 20,165 in 2 years. So 20,165 will become the amount. Number of years is 2. Rate of interest is 13.8. So let's define that. Therefore, amount is 20.165. Time is 2 years. Rate of interest is 13.8. Okay. Now let us solve this using the same amount formula. So amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 to the power T. 20,165 is equal to P into 1 plus R is 13.8 by 100 to the power T is 2 years. So 20,165 is equal to P into 1 plus 13.8 is 0.138 to the power 2 years. So 20,165 is equal to P into 1.138 to the power 2. So 20,165 is equal to P into 1.295044. So 20,165 divided by 1.295044 is equal to P. So what is the P? 15,570.899. Thank you, Spurti. Thank you for the value. Okay, or you can write it as P is equal to 15,571. That also is fine. So therefore, the principal is 15,570.89 rupees and rate of interest is 13.8%. So they had asked us to find the principal and rate of interest and we found both of them. Is it clear? Did you all understand this? Good. So that completes our compound interest. Now moving to the next concept is annuity. As per your syllabus, there are no problems on annuity. You just have to understand the theory here. Okay. After annuity, there is some part, a little part of discounts, types of discounts where you will have simple problems to solve. So first, let us learn about annuity today, and then we'll see how the time permits will go like that. Clear? So let us start. Your next concept is annuity. Now, annuity means it is for a fixed period of time. Okay. First of all, annuity is like annual, every year. So that will be called as annuity. So if you see here, the term annuity is derived from Latin word annum. Annum means year. We usually take no per annum. So it is for 1 year. Okay. But as we practice this annuity, it has become a periodical fixed payment. Periodical fixed payment means 1 year if you are paying 10,000 rupees, every year if you start paying 10,000 rupees only, that is called as annuity. So it is a periodical payment of a fixed amount. Every month if they are paying a salary, so that will become an annuity. If they are paying the same amount salary, it will become an annuity. Okay, something like rent of the building, loan amount, premium of life insurance. Okay, but salary, why they don't call it as annuity? Because there will be little changes, right? They can give increment, they'll have little changes in the salary. So that's why they don't say it as particular annuity, but then if they are paying fixed amount only every time, then that will come under annuity. So let me repeat, annuity is any periodical payment of a fixed amount. Every year if they pay same amount, every month if they pay, every half year, that is 6 months once, or 3 months once, that is called as annuity. Now there are few concepts or there are few terminologies which you have to understand under annuity, which is very important. Now let us see what are those. The person making payments under an annuity is called annuator. Annuator also you can spell. So who is paying the money, they are called as annuator. And the person who is receiving the money, they are called as annuity holder or annuitant. Suppose we are paying rent for the building. Now, if that rent is 5,000 rupees, every month I will be paying 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. So, I will become annuitator because I am paying the rent. Who is making payments, who is paying the rent will become annuitator, and the owner who will receive the payment will become annuitant or annuity holder. Okay. Then the lump sum consideration against which annuities are granted is called the present value. So lump sum against which means, now if it is a rental place, it means they have given you a house to live in for rent. So that is a lump sum. The lump sum consideration, that house that you are living in is a lump sum, and that is the present value. And the lump sum amount which is recoverable after certain maturity period is called accumulated amount or future value. You might have given them deposit before you get into the rental agreement, you'll pay some deposit, right? Now this deposit can be taken back. That will become the future value. It is best understood in life insurance. You'll take an insurance, say for example, they'll take an insurance, okay, at year 0 when the baby is born. Now that insurance is for, let's say, 20 years. Every year they are gonna pay 200 rupees. Every year for 20 years, every year they will pay 200 rupees. So whoever is paying, let's take for example, A is paying the insurance. A has a baby which is D. A is paying the insurance. Now A is paying to LIC. So A will become the annuitator. LIC will become the annuitant or the annuity holder. Okay. Now after 20 years, A will get back his money. After 20 years, A will get back his money. How will he get back? He'll get lump sum money back. That lump sum money is called as future value. Okay. And today, what we are having, that service of insurance, what we are getting, that will be the present value. Okay. So the service of insurance is the present value. The lump sum money which we get after 20 years will be the accumulated amount or the future value. Did you all understand the concept of annuity? Good. Now moving on further, characteristics of an annuity. Annuity is a fixed recurring payment. Recurring means it keeps repeating. Recurring is nothing but repeating. So annuity is a fixed repeating payment which is payable at a fixed time period. Every half yearly, every monthly, every yearly, quarterly, like that, they keep repeating the same payment. Then annuity is based on the concept of compound interest. That is why we learn the compound interest first, because annuity is the concept of compound interest. It is paid either at the beginning or at the end of each period. Each period means, it say for example, they are paying the money in the starting of the month, or they are paying the money at the end of the month. That is how they do the calculations, either in the starting of the month or in the ending of the month. It is paid either to discharge an existing obligation installment wise, or to create a fund to redeem a debt or purchase an asset. Now, if you have heard about RD, that is also work with annuity. RD is recurring deposit. You can keep a RD in any bank or post office. Now, every month, if you want to save 100 rupees, you can put that into an RD. Okay. Now, this is an annuity every month. So it's the same amount every month you are putting an RD. Okay. Now, here you can pay in this RD, let's say after 5 years, you will take out that RD. So you have accumulated some significant amount. After 5 years, you will get that back. Or after 1 year only, you can get that back. This is one case. Another case is, you have taken a loan of 10,000 rupees. Now, to clear this 10,000 rupees loan, you are paying EMI. Let's say you are paying an EMI of 250 rupees every month. Example, okay? Example. So, this 250 rupees will become an annuity because you are paying it installment wise, or you are paying it to complete one loan. Okay, that is also annuity. Or you are saving money like this to purchase the furniture or asset in the future, any asset. Companies, you would have heard about depreciation accounting, right? You have solved about depreciation accounting. Yes. Now in depreciation accounting, they will save certain money. Every company will save the money so that they can change the old machinery to the new machinery. Correct? That also has the base of annuity concept in them. So that is characteristics of annuity. And the last point, it may be paid for a specified number of periods or till happening of a contingent event or forever. It will be paid for certain number of period, which means it can be paid for, let's say, 5 years, 10 years, 25 years, for some period, or it can be paid until the event happening. Say for example, there is P and there is Q. P is a father and Q is a daughter. So dad will be paying to the daughter. Okay. Let's say, for example, he is paying 2000 rupees every month. He is paying 2000 rupees every month to the daughter to use it for her expenses until she gets married. Until she gets married, he is paying 2000 rupees for her expenses. Anything she can use it for. So for happening of an event, but firstly, they are talking about contingent event. So marriage is not a contingent event. Okay. You can talk about insurance, fire insurance. You keep paying the fire insurance money for the building. Okay. Until the happening of the event. If someday some company catches fire, they will have insurance for them to pay them back. Or the payment of the amount can happen forever, any number of years. That is annuity. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the annuity. Is it clear? Any doubts in the characteristics? Good. Now moving further to the application of annuity system. Now here annuity is applied in the special cases. Let us understand where all we can find annuity concept which it is used. Firstly, in repayment of loan in the installments, EMI. Any product that you buy, you have bought a TV for your home, or you have bought a new laptop or a computer or a mobile phone. For every single item there is EMIs available today, so you can repay the amount in every monthly installment. So in that case annuity is used. Computation of pension instead of regular periodical pensions. So pension is which has been paid at the old age, right? So when a person has saved some amount in the pension fund with government, that amount will be given whenever they are old. Monthly they will get some 5000. It depends on the amount that they have saved. Okay, few will be getting 1000, 1200, or few will be getting 5000, 6000 also. So how do they calculate that pension? In that calculation also they are using annuity. Then creation of a sinking fund for repayment of a debt or purchase or replacement of a capital asset. Now sinking fund. Now sinking fund is like a reserve. Okay, this sinking fund, the main purpose of creating a sinking fund is to buy a new asset later or finish the debt. It's like an extra saving that the company does. Okay, so this sinking fund will be created, and in that sinking fund also the concept used is annuity. You will keep aside some money every month and you will completely pay off the loan at once because you have enough money. So that is sinking fund. Next, establishment of an endowment fund under a trust to be used for the award of prize or scholarship. Usually, colleges or companies would give some scholarships for the students of any kind. Anybody can be getting the scholarship. Now, whenever they use or whenever they keep aside some money for the purpose of giving prizes, best student, if they've got more marks, if they've got out and all, they usually call and give them the awards, right? So at those times they'll give some money, prize money. And if they are giving scholarships, then the money will not be kept aside altogether. They cannot keep some lakh rupees aside together. So every month they will keep saving little amount, and that little amount will go into a fund called as endowment fund under a trust. Okay, now colleges and all will run on the trust only. So under the trust they will have this endowment fund. So using that endowment fund is how they give the prizes or scholarships. And in that, every month when they are saving some amount and putting it into endowment fund, that concept also is annuity, where they utilize it. Okay, next, to secure a regular periodical income for certain period like pension fund, education fund, etc. Now pension funds, after one point of time, when a person is retired, they will get some pension fund if they have saved it before. If they have saved it before, they'll get the pension fund. So that also has the system of annuity involved. And recurring deposit, I already explained. Banks will have how you have fixed deposit. Similarly, there is another deposit called recurring deposit. In recurring deposit, you need not invest at a time. You can invest every month, every day, every 15 days, every 3 months. Like that, you can do the recurring deposit. Okay. Now, this recurring deposit also uses annuity system. And then annuity life policy. So there are policies called as annuity life policy, and majorly in insurance is where this annuity is being used in a wide ways. Okay, so these are the points under application of annuity system. Is it clear? Application of annuity system is clear? Any doubts? Okay, so moving on is the types of annuities. So there are many different types of annuities which will be seen, which is used by the companies and individual people. So different types of annuities are on the basis of continuity of payments. How the payments are done, on that basis there are three types of annuities. First one is annuity certain, contingent annuity, perpetual annuity. Okay, and then on the basis of enforcement means on the basis of actual how do we follow the annuity. Are we paying it immediately or are we paying it later? That is immediate annuity, deferred annuity, postponement of payment or immediate payment. So that is on the basis of enforcement. Then on the basis of time of payment. So on the basis of time of payment, we have annuity due. When are we paying annuity? That will be there. Now let us understand each types of annuity in detail. So the first one is annuity certain. Okay. So the first one here, annuity certain. This is what we are going to learn. This is the annuity which is payable for a certain period, which is called as annuity certain. Like LIC policy, we pay it for 5 years. After 5 years, we will not pay. We will stop it. And later, we will take back the money if there is not, if there is no event which has happened. So if LIC policy is taken for 5 years, premium is payable for 5 years only. Okay. For that 5 years, a person's life is insured. Now, in that 5 years, anything happens to the person, then insurance amount can be claimed for that particular event. After 5 years, nothing can be done because you will get back your money. You can open a new policy. So that is annuity certain. It is payable for a certain period of time. Now, the next one is contingent annuity. Now, here the annuity is payable till the happening of the certain contingent event. Now, contingent event may happen, may not happen. Okay, so